Welcome back, happy hookers. Today we're going to take a look at how to make these lovely oak leaves. Now this is a pattern from a lady called, what's her name? I forget, but her website is called Pattern Paradise, and there's some beautiful things, and I actually made these last year and put them on my Instagram. In fact, I used them to decorate some mason jars, which you will have seen in the thumbnail card. They're really easy, really simple, and they're great for just everyday sort of autumn, or if you like leaves and foliage all year round. And I made two in orange and one in this lovely golden yellow, and I have a slightly more muted kind of mustard cream. Yeah, it's more like a mustard, if anything, and I'm going to show you how to make them. So they're super easy. I've popped a link to the written pattern to Pattern Paradise in the description below. So let's get going. So grab some tea, grab some yarn and your hook. Let's hope our cats don't disturb us too much. I'm not sure where mine are, but they might come in begging for food because it is about 4 o'clock. So let's get started. So you're going to need to create yourself a slip knot. I create mine like so. Perfect. I'm actually just going to move the camera up slightly, I think I need a little bit more room. Okay, here we go. A bit more like that. Lovely. So the first thing you need to do is chain 11. So we're going to yarn over and pull through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then the second chain from the hook, so not the one that the loop's coming out of, but the next one, you're going to place a single crochet. So that's inserting the hook, yarning over and pulling back through, 2 loops on the hook, yarning over. Oh, it's really hard. I'm looking through the camera rather than the actual crochet, and I had a bit of a trippy moment. So yarning over and pulling back through 2. You're then going to do 2 half double crochet in the next one. So a half double crochet, what we do for that is we yarn over before we insert. So we yarn over, we insert into the next chain along, we yarn over and pull back through. We have 3 loops on our hook, and then for the half double we simply yarn over and we pull through all 3. Now luckily we're going to be doing another one, so I can show that one again, because we're going to be placing 2 half double crochets in the same stitch. It's really easy to see where to go in because it will have made a slightly bigger hole here. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to go back into the same place, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, trying not to split our stitch. There we go. So a single crochet, 2 half double crochets, then we're going to half double crochet in the next 6 along. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through all 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a tricky cotton, you've got to be careful not to split your stitches with it. 5, 5. So we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this was the one that 2. If you struggle, you can tell the one that 2 were in, because it does create a slightly little bigger hole at the bottom there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need 1 more. 6. We're then going to place 2 half double crochets in the next chain. So 1, 2. And then all being well, if you count it correctly, you should only have 1 at the end. So the way this is going to work is you're going to place quite a few stitches in this last chain, and it'll kind of curve around so that we can go back down the end. So you're actually going to place in total 5 stitches into this one. So the first one is a single, The second one is a half double, so yarning over before we go in and pulling through all three. The middle one, if you like, is the tallest stitch, is a double crochet. So it's almost like we're going to place 2 here, 1 on the end, and then 2 as we come back around. So placing a double crochet, and that's yarning over, inserting, but rather than yarning over and pulling through all 3 like we would with the half double, we yarn over and pull through 2, and then we yarn over and we pull through 2. So can you see how it's created that curve around? So I'm actually going to turn it upside down because I know I'm going to be crocheting sort of onto this side of this end stitch, and you will have this bit here where your slip knot was. Just kind of tuck it to the back and you can almost imagine it's not even there. So we have a half double, then we have a single, and can you see how that's nicely created a little turning point all the way around? So we're now going to go back down the other side of the chain. So we're going to place 2 half double in the next one, and the easiest way to see that, if I take this out, if you're not familiar with this, they don't look like traditional stitches, but what you will have is you will have these not indents, but these holes here where you've kind of got one piece of yarn going over and one piece of yarn. So you'll still be going under 2, but can you see they're just a little bit different, and you'll be able to identify them because you'll have 3 little bars here all converging, and if you go into there it should nicely, can you see, just create a little opening, and that's where we're going to be placing our stitches. So if you weren't familiar, and I'll go a little bit closer up so you can really see in this one. So 2 half double crochets, so we're going to yarn over, and it's here, and you see we've got these bars converging. We've got this big hole here and this bit here, ignore that because that is where we place 5 stitches. So the next bit is here. Okay, so we're going to place 2 half double crochets into that part of the leaf, and if we tidy that up and pop it there. So can you see the next bit? I've got these 1, 2, 3 here. I've got a bit going there and a bit going there. I can pop, there we go. So we're going to place 6 half double crochets all the way along, matching up to the 6 on the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Couldn't work out if I'd split that then. And there we go. And it does actually make quite a neat effect going down the centre. So 2 half double crochets in this next one here, which is a slightly bigger one. And then we're going to place a single crochet in the last one, which is here. And it asks you not to join. So if I take that out, so we can see on the other side, here we have our 2 half double crochets that went into the same place, and our single that was in the second chain from the hook at the very beginning, and we have our single here at the end. So all in all you should have 27 stitches. So what we're going to do now is we're going to chain 1, and we're actually going to turn our work. So because we chained 1 it means that we can actually crochet into that first single crochet, and you're going to place 2 single crochets into the first 2 stitches. So single, single, a little bit more yarn. I do always say, wouldn't it be lovely if you had somebody just to continuously pull your yarn for you? And 2 into the next. Oh, we caught a little bit. Oh, smooth that down. Perfect. So 2 single crochets, 2 single crochets. We're now going to place 9 half double crochets into the next 9 stitches. And I love half double crochets. I think they're one of my favourite stitches. They've just got such a nice rhythm to them, and they build really lovely. And they seem to flow better than the double crochet. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. 9. I don't know, I'm whispering. Oh, missed it. 9. Lovely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. So we're going to place 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And then we're going to place 1 single crochet in the next stitch. And then in this stitch here, we're going to place a single, a half double and a single to kind of create the end. So single, half double, single. Perfect. So we're going to copy the pattern kind of the reverse way down by placing a single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochets into the next stitch, so pretty much the reverse of the other side, followed by 9 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can hear the kids going out to play in my neighbour's garden. 5, 6. As long as they haven't got a police siren toy, I think we're good. 7, 8. Just double check my count. So here was my 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, one more. 9 half double crochet. So we're going to place 2 single crochets into the last 2 stitches. So, and that's into each of them. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And what you can see is we've quite nicely made sort of a tip of the leaf, which essentially on this, if you look, is this part here. And then this is what forms the bottom of the leaf. So working along the bottom, we're going to place a single, a double and a single. And I'm actually going to place it into the very centre here, into this piece here. So can you see we've got our 2 singles and our single. We've got the same here. So straight into the centre, I'm going to place my stitches right there to close the bottom up. So single crochet, a double crochet, which is quite a tall stitch, so that'll bridge that gap quite nicely, and bring it out, a single crochet, and then what we're going to do is we're actually going to join it up to this stitch here. So not here, can you see where we've got our very first top of our stitch with a slip stitch. Ooh, that was quite a large single. I've got a little bit of loose yarn there. I'm actually going to undo that because it looks a little bit untidy. I think that was from my double. If you suffer the same, just tighten your yarn up a little bit here, and then I'm going to make sure as I do my double crochet I don't make too long a loop when I do my single, and then hopefully, there we go, that's much neater, isn't it? I was being a little bit too loose. And then slip stitch into that final stitch, and that's made quite a nice sort of boxing off of that end with our point. Perfect. So now we're going to, we're not going to turn, we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. And then we're going to single crochet the next stitch. And then in the next stitch we're going to place a half double crochet, a double and another half double crochet, because we're going to start to create our points. So we yarn over for the half double, yarn over, pull through all three, and a double, so that's the same yarn over, but then we pull through 2 and 2, and then another half double. We've created the first little bit of one of our points. So after that we're going to single crochet next stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch the next, and that will bring it back down. So a single and then a slip, which is basically pulling it through and pulling it straight through. It's going to give us a real nice bit of a point there. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to repeat this from when we did the slip stitch. So we're going to slip stitch, single, then we place our 3 stitches, our half double, our double, our half double, our single into the next stitch. Oh, I think I've picked up the bar underneath, I didn't want to. Our single into the next stitch, our slip stitch into the next stitch. There you go. You see how we've created another one of those. So we're going to do that one more time. So slip stitch, single, a half double, a double into the same stitch, and a half double into the same stitch, a single, and then a slip stitch. Perfect. And there you go, it should start to have this wavy effect as we go along. So we're going to do a single into the next single single crochet into that one, and then to this one here we're going to do a little bit more of a stitch. So how that's going to work is, if you're ready for this, a half double and a double, but we're going to put 5 in here. So after the double we're going to do a treble. Now that's winding over twice beforehand, then it's inserting, yarning over. So we've now got 3 lots of yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. This creates a really tall stitch. Yarn over through 2. That is a big stitch, isn't it? Then we're going to put another double in there. Then we're going to put a half double. That's created a huge stitch on the end. So we're then going to repeat our pattern where we place a slip stitch, a single, and then back to popping a half double, a double, and another half double into our stitch, followed by a single crochet, followed by a slip stitch. Oh, there's my cat's arrived. Hello, Moomin. Come to interrupt the video. Of course you have. Okay, so let's try that again. No, it's not dinner time yet. Slip stitch. She's going to sleep now. That's it, have a sit down and a yawn. So slip stitch and single leading up. Then we have our cluster of 3. So our half double, our double, and our last half double. And then bringing it back down by placing a single and a slip stitch. So we've got one more to do along. So another slip stitch, another single, and our final cluster of a half double, a double. It's been a long time since I've said all these crochet stitches. I have had a couple of months off. I do apologise. It's been house renovation, DIY, well, not so much house renovation, lots of bits around the house to get sorted and things like that. Single crochet, must find more time for crochet, and then slip stitch. Okay, doesn't that look good? So now we're going to create the stem. At the moment it's looking like this. So we're going to slip stitch into the next, get them out of the way, slip stitch into the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to go a couple more. We need to get back to here. Can you see the center point? So we need to slip stitch one more. That's better. And then we're going to chain 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Actually, I have done that slightly. No, that is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to, in the second chain from the hook, slip stitch. And slip stitching into chains is tricky, because I've just split my stitch. Tricky and fiddly, but worth it because it creates a really tight little cord. So, but you've got barely anything to hold on to, so just try and be patient. I would generally go through the first loop and then do the second loop, rather than trying to go through them both at the same time like I maybe normally would. If we keep going, just keep swimming. So patience, and then we should get back to the beginning. A couple more to go. There we go. Nearly there. How many have we got? Oh, it's spun round a little bit. We have got 2 more. 1, 2. And then when we get back to here, all we need to do is just place a slip stitch back into the base where we chained from, and hey presto, we have a nice little curly tail. It might be a bit like this when you've done it and you think, oh, but a little bit of flattening. Block it how you used to. I usually just flatten it out, spray it with a little bit of water, and I'm good to go. But actually, I mean, oak leaves aren't perfectly flat and pristine. They are a little bit crumpled. They are a little bit, you know, you want them to hang. You want them to feel like oak leaves. And there you go. I would simply fasten it off. You might want to leave a length of cord if you're actually going to use that to tie it to something, whether it's around a mason jar or whether you're planning on making a autumnal garland. So thank you ever so much for watching. If you like this, please do give me a thumbs up. I'm hoping to post a lot more regular, lots of autumn videos coming up, including some super cute pumpkins with little you know, the tops of the pumpkins, made them from cinnamon sticks or pieces of driftwood. So that's going to be really cute. So once again, happy hooking, and I'll see you soon. Bye.